Hi, Jewish Mom. This past week, my daughter Sophia, who's 6, was in a end of the year dance performance. She went to a dance after school activity at her school, and it's really, really nice. She did a really nice job, and the girls did a great job. But I want to talk with you about something that the woman who runs this dance program. It's a dance program for several hundred girls. At the end of the performance, she got up and she said, you know, somebody asked me this week why I do this. She said, and I'll tell you, it's because of you girls. It's because I love working with you girls. But there's something I want to say to you, girls. And she kind of turns to, there's like 200 girls on the stage. From this specific school, and she said, this is what I want to tell you. This is my message for you about something that I hope that you've learned this year, from all of your hard work in your dance classes, is that I want to tell you that when you grow up, whatever you do in life, whether you are a teacher or a dance instructor or a doctor or just a mom, she goes like this, just a mom, then I want to implore you to be the best you can be. Okay? So she's saying, you know, whatever you do, be the best that you can be. And the funny thing was, this was a very kind of a sweet, kind of harmless statement, but it really, really bothered me intensely because I was kind of thinking, what does it mean to be the best mother you can be? And it brought up all these kind of images, which made me feel very down on myself. Because of course, the best mother you can be, when I start thinking about it, of course, it's the qualities that belong to not me. It's qualities that I don't have that I see possibly in other dream mothers. So this, for example, is what I wrote up this morning. What, in my mind, what it is that the best mother, the best mother I could be, would be a spotless house, making challahs every week with my kids. These are things these are things that absolutely do not apply to me, that have nothing to do with me. So, spotless house, making chalot every week with my kids, spending my afternoons doing arts and crafts with my children, driving them to educational museums, and taking them to enriching after-school activities like chess club and Mandarin. My kids are always perfectly dressed and behaved with perfect self-esteem and intelligence, balanced with perfect midot. Okay, so it's kind of like my image is kind of like this like perfect glossy magazine kind of image of the being the best mother I can be. So I was talking with my friend this Shabbat, and we were talking. I was trying to figure out why this bothers me so much, why the image of the best mother you can be, why it brings out such kind of like a problematic image that has so little to do with who I am. And we realized that you know that this idea, like the best mother you can be, it could lead a person to kind of a competitive feeling with other mothers around her. That this, like I look around and see this mother does this, and this mother takes her children to Mandarin classes. That's actually in America. My sister-in-law takes my nephews to Mandarin classes. Not something I really aspire to, but whatever. And so it's kind of something that brings out a bit of a competitive feeling between mothers. And my friend said something nice that she heard from her teacher, Rachel Arbus, who's a very highly respected parenting teacher in Israel. So she said, you know, like in a competition, you know, some people are, you know, one person's swimming, one person's driving, one person's running, one person's in a helicopter. So, you know, like the competition, it doesn't work. Like the image of a competition doesn't work. We're all managing in a very, very different. You know, the helicopter doesn't make sense for the person swimming to compete with the helicopter. One's going to get there before the other, but doesn't really matter. That we're all really in a different race. We're all really in our own circumstances. So I think, like, for me, what really means being the best mother it can be, it's something very, very subtle and something really, really not glamorous and something really, really not public that people can see you know. It's something very internal that happens on a very subtle, quiet level in my house. I'm a mother of 8 children, and I think at any given time, one of my 8 children is struggling with something. And if one gets over it, then the next one is struggling. And if that one gets over it, then not soon after another one is struggling. And so part of that is just a very quiet, everyday thinking to myself, what can I do to help this child get through their struggle? What phone call can I make? What help can I make? What help can I provide? What resource can I help out with? What can I do to help this child in a small way today? And I think that also like another way of being the best mother that I can be is that, you know, at any given time, there's also this one child who's getting on my nerves. There's one child I'm personally having difficulty with. Um, and um, and it's working on with that child. Let's say I have a child. I've had a child who I found this year very irritating, difficult, challenging. And so something that I try to do with this child, I try to imagine them in high school, a grown-up high school student, and so mature and so well behaved and so lovely and so fun to speak with. And I imagine this child grown up already, and I feel like it just that little internal something that nobody can see. Nobody, but I think this child feels it. This child feels when I'm relating to them, when I'm able to jump out of the present irritatingness of this child and jump forward to who this child, Bezrat Hashem, is going to grow up into. Then it pulls me. Then I relate, that I relate to them really differently, and I think that they feel that. It's something very subtle. It's not something that anybody sees. It's not a perfect house. It's not a perfect child. It's not a perfect, anything. It's not, oh, I'm taking my kids today to the science museum. It's not that. It's something very subtle, internal, that I'm doing, that I'm working through with my kids. So in conclusion, so when we think about this, I think this is a great idea for us to, as the dance teacher said, as the dance director said, to try and be the best mother, try to be the best mother that we can be. But I think that for each of us, it's something very subtle. It's not something external that we can like look and say, oh, I'm better than this mother at this and this and this. No, it's that it's something very internal about our dealing and kind of, I feel, sorry for this kind of depressing verb, but I feel like it's kind of just muddling through it. It's not something kind of glamorous and beautiful and magical and wonderful and da-da. It's something very internal that we're just muddling through every day, just trying to do a little bit better, trying to take care. When a child's struggling, do a little bit to help them out every day. When you're having difficulty with a child, doing a little bit of work to fix that relationship with that child and to help that child. And I think also part of it is also every day, little by little, doing something to take care of myself, doing something to take care of myself, so that I have the koach and I have the energy and the joy and the passion to bring back to my kids. It's something not so magazine-ish, but it's something subtle and important and very, very real. So on that note, I want to bless all of you Jewish moms with an amazing week.